So before we get into today's video, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I painted this scene of a dappled light trail in the forest. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little story about what happened yesterday. Such a great experience because it shows you how wonderful giving cards away is. So before I start the story, well, I will start the story with this. The other day, you might remember I did this painting right here. It's that sunflower, and I did it specifically for the neighbor, our neighbor. Robin and I have a wonderful neighbor, and let me show you our neighbor. Here we go. That is her right there, and she is a fitness person, and she began her fitness journey at a time in her life when she was very overweight and wanted to do something about it. And now she runs marathons and she does all these amazing things. And so and she's a single person, lives right next door to Robin and I. And I wanted to share with you what she wrote because we brought over the card. Well, there's the card right there. Can I move this over? Oh, I can't move the screen over, but there's the card right there. Oh, there it is. That's the card I painted for her. And can I read to you what she wrote? Because we gave it to her without her knowing. And just a little extra piece of information. She works 3 jobs and she's not home very often, and her front door became very dirty because of a storm we had. All of our doors got really dirty, and she never was able to find the time to clean it up. And she wrote this. So afterwards we went next door. No, we didn't know she had a hard day, but we went next door. Well, she texted us and she said, "Did you guys clean my door?" And so the answer is yes. But we also had this card we wanted to give her. And she wrote this: "God is an on-time God. I never speak much about what I do on a daily basis, but today there was a special case with a potential young lady we are trying to work with." Now, I don't know what she really does for a living, but she must be a social worker of some sort. And she writes, "Long story short, she is a little reflection of my younger self. And without going into detail, she had also not so good of a life. She had a painful outburst, panic attack, to which my staff and I came to help the situation. And after calming down, we went inside and she saw all of my sunflowers." She's got a lot of sunflowers. She loves sunflowers. That's why I painted that card for her. So the woman asks, "Why so many sunflowers?" And I told her one of the reasons why I love sunflowers is when I was at my lowest of lows, darkest of moments, that my eyes caught a sunflower where I was, and they were so big, bold, beautiful, yellow, happy, strong. And that is when I said to myself, I want to be like a sunflower, that no matter what I'm going through, I'm always looking for my sunshine." She was like, "Wow, I wish I had something that was that special." And I told her, "Don't worry, in time you will find it." And she noticed one of the signs in my office that had a butterfly, and it said, "Spread your wings and soar." I was fine in front of my staff and in front of our new potential young adult, but it hit me, the tears. So when I went home to find a blessing, I had more tears. My apartment door was cleaned, and my wonderful neighbors, that's Robin and me, thought of me and painted my beautiful flower for me and shared a wonderful reminder of how special I am. We wrote something in the card that told her how much we are inspired by her and how she's such a wonderful neighbor. She said, because there was something else I told that young lady that I don't share too often with anyone. And to come home and be reminded of that, my God, I'm so grateful. Don't mind my tears. They are watering my sunflower seeds so that I can see them grow. And then she thanked Robin and I. So that's what I wanted to share with you before we got into today's video. The idea that we are creating cards. And I have a new one today. This is what I'll be sharing with somebody. And I don't know who. Now that particular card, I knew it was going to go to our neighbor. And by the way, I hope she doesn't mind, but her name is Heaven. All right, well, it's a wonderful thing. All right, let me show you how I painted this one. Hope you don't mind that I went on a little tangent there. And this was not, didn't take that long to do really. So here we go. Good morning. It's time to do another painting. I got my water, my clean water, and it looks like maybe a dirty brush. Looks like I didn't clean the brush very well. That's okay. I just wanted to create some areas of light and dark. And that's it. That's all it is light and dark. So I do the beginning last, as you know, on these videos. So I plan, since I haven't done it yet in my world, in your world, you've seen it already. But I wanted to show you, and I'll talk about it a little bit now. So yesterday, I went next door to our neighbor, and I cleaned her door. I cleaned her door. She works 3 jobs. She's a young lady. She lives alone. And Robin and I are friends with her. And I look at her door. And I thought, well, maybe I could help just by cleaning her door. So that's what I did. I cleaned her door. And then I said to Robin, let's give her the card that I painted with the sunflower on it. So that's what I did. And the amazing thing we didn't know is that she was having a rough day at work. You know, I was cleaning her door, and I was hoping I would get it done before she came home. And she usually comes home really late because, like I say, she's got 3 jobs. So I think sometimes she goes from one job to the next. But apparently she was having a bad day at work. She works with, I don't really know what she does, to be honest with you. But it just was so nice to know that the card and the gesture of cleaning the door both somehow made a really positive impression on her. It was very nice. And she posted that thing on Facebook that I shared with you in the beginning. Anyway, that was very nice. And it just shows you why I really don't look at these cards as a money maker. I really look at them as just a way to reach out to people maybe who will get a little joy out of it. You never know. You never know when you're reaching out to somebody what the effect might be on that person. So anyway, I hope you're doing well, and I would love to hear some of your stories and maybe some of the coincidences. So this is a study, this painting is a study in contrast of colors and contrast in darks and lights. And it's a simple landscape, I guess you would say. Just a real simple one. So there was a a story in the Bible. I am not a Bible scholar, but I'm just repeating what the pastor was talking about in church this past Sunday. He was talking about Joseph, not the one who was the father of Jesus, but the other one. I don't know how you. This is the one with the colored coat, the coat of many colors. That guy. That guy. That his brothers, sold him into slavery and kept him in a well, and he was locked up for years and years and years, and all the trials and tribulations that the brother went through. And I really don't know much about these stories, but I'm familiar with the story because this is going to sound silly, but I was familiar with the story because of Donny Osmond. Okay, because Donny Osmond was in a play. I saw the play on TV. I didn't see it in the theater, but Donny Osmond was in a play called Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And so I saw the story. I honestly didn't think much of it. But the pastor was pointing out that, now you guys are probably better at this than me, but the pastor was pointing out that it's not just a story to tell a story, it's a story to illustrate the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. And that in the story, Joseph forgives his brothers for selling him into slavery. And while I got that when I watched the play, the video of the play on TV, I did understand that. It wasn't until the pastor contrasted that story with a story from a movie called The Count of Monte Cristo that I really got it, because in The Count of Monte Cristo, it's some similar circumstances and I've never seen this movie, but he was explaining some similar circumstances, and in that story, there's not forgiveness, there's vengeance, there's revenge. And he contrasted that with Joseph's story, which was a story of forgiveness. And I thought, well, that's just like art, because with art, I get the story, I get the importance of the story, or I get the message of the story better. The Bible story, the coat of many colors. Okay, I get it better because of the contrast that the pastor pointed out in this other story, the Count of Monte Cristo. And like I say, it's like art. You really can't see the light in art unless you have the darkness. You have to have both. I just thought that was an amazing thing. I want to tell him that, the pastor, when I see him again, which I don't know. He's a new pastor. He's a young guy, so I'm not sure if I'll see him this Sunday or not. But anyway, I just thought I wanted to share that with you because it's the same as with art. You have to have the contrasts in order to. You have to have dark in order to have light. It's just way. It's just an obvious thing, right? I guess. So therefore, I'm putting some darks in here. That's the whole story. That's the whole thing. Sometimes when I use acrylics, I use reds to darken the greens. And I'm going to try to do that a little bit here, just to kind of offset it a little bit. Because I usually use with watercolor, I just use like more watercolor. I just go heavier on it. But here I'm trying to put it all in there. So I have a poem today also. It's got a very long title, by the way. The title of the poem today is Lines composed a few miles above Tin Burn Alley on revisiting the banks of the Wye during a tour, July 13th, 1798. What a long title. And it's written by William Wordsworth. You get to get Wordsworth with him. And I'm not going to read the whole poem. It's a very, very long one, actually. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. But I'll read the first part of it, because I think it goes with this picture. So, let me clean my brush, see if I can get some of this violet color in there. Put some of these little violets. There's little places where there's some purple flowers. And then I'll read the poem to you. I'm going to let this dry. I like how that light is shining right there. That looks pretty good. Let's see what I can do here. Darker green. I was watching a video from another artist yesterday. And he was talking about how he uses gouache to come to the rescue. And I was thinking, hey, that's exactly what I say. Gouache to the rescue. I'm thinking about that right now because there might be some need for that in this particular one. But not yet. So far I'm doing pretty good with just the watercolor. And anyway, so contrast is perhaps the lesson, you know. Contrast and shapes. Oh, I'm working on a children's book. I think I may have shared this with you. Can I just, between me and you? Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I'm so frustrated by it because every time I do a picture, the author decides he wants to change it. Oh, yes, that's not a happy time. It's okay. It really is par for the course, though. It really is the way it is. I think this particular author has been a little bit unclear in how he wants what he wants, and that's why he needs changes, because he doesn't make it clear to me what he wants. It's all in text, by the way. There is no, I don't know who he is or what he looks like. I don't even think I know his name. See, Robin actually does the communication with the author and the publisher. I just do the pictures. I just do the pictures. I'm the picture guy. I'm the picture guy. And you know what? With today's AI, you sort of wonder if picture guys are going to be out of the picture soon. Picture guys out of the picture. But you know what will never be out of the picture? Doing cool little cards for people like my neighbor, Robin and my neighbor. Just that was such a great, wonderful, rewarding moment to read what she wrote on Facebook, and not even knowing that we were going over there to bring her a card on a day that she was having a rough day. It's something we couldn't have known. Alright, so let me put a little bit more darkness right here. And then I want to read that poem to you. Okay. And here it is. I say that, I keep going. I keep dabbing. So here's the poem. It's called Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tinburn Alley on Revisiting the Banks of the Wye During a Tour, July 13th, 1798. So today's only July 24th, 2024. So we just passed this anniversary of this poem. And this is what William Wordsworth wrote. 5 years have passed, 5 summers, with the length of 5 long winters, and again I hear these waters rolling from their mountain springs with a soft inland murmur. Once again do I behold these steep and lofty cliffs that on a wild, secluded scene impress thoughts of more deep seclusion and connect the landscape with the quiet of the sky. The day is come when I again repose here under this dark sycamore and view these plots of cottage ground, these orchard tufts, which at this season with their unripe fruits are clad in one green hue and lose themselves mid groves and thickets. Once again I see these hedgerows, hardly hedgerows, little lines of sportive wood run wild, these pastoral farms, green to the very door, and wreaths of smoke sent up in silence from among the trees. Yeah, that's not the whole poem. That's just the first part. But I like it, and I like where it ends, because that's what I'm painting, is the trees. Okay. Just keep adding these darks and these lights. The white paper serves so well in these pictures. See, I'm not quite ready yet to do winter pictures. I know I said you have to do them because of you need to start early for your holiday cards, but I think starting early is a good way to allow yourself to do them now and then instead of every single day. This is what I did last year. I started really late, and so when I was doing the Christmas cards and the holiday cards, I was needing to do like one a day and of the same thing. I know I do a card a day usually because of the Poppa Paints channel, but it was the same picture every day. Not same picture, but the same idea of the winter, snowy scenes and all that, you know. Some green, blue, green here. Some turquoise colors. Yeah, I think I probably will use some gouache to add some light colors in here that I didn't pre-think enough. It's okay. It's okay. Like I've said many times before, the only time you really have to worry about not mixing medium is when you're entering a contest and it specifically says no mixed media. No mixed media. Then you look at your painting and you say, did I use gouache in this painting? Is that going to disqualify me? Will the judges even see it? Will they know? How are they going to know? It looks just the same as watercolor. That's right. I don't know. I've never even entered a contest. I've just been told that you can't enter a watercolor contest if the rules say it can't be mixed media and you've used mixed media. That's what I've been told. Maybe you guys have done that. Have you entered a contest and had that experience? I used to enter music contests because I was a songwriter, and I never won. No, I never did. You send them $30, $20. Yeah, enter a contest. Get discovered. The world will know who you are. Why is that so important to us as humans? Why is it important that the world knows who we are? Why is that a desired thing? They always put fame and fortune together when they talk about certain things. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I suppose the real answer is it's not important. That's the real answer, isn't it? It's not important. It's a fake belief. It's a fake belief that you have to be famous in order to be special, in order to be respected. It's a fake belief. I don't want to unfocus the picture. I know when my hand gets in the picture, the camera unfocuses it. Try to do it this way. Get a lighter color here. See if I get something light here. Get it very light. Put it back here. And some very distant trees with this very light, watered down go. These tall trees. It's coming together pretty nicely, I think. The woods. The woods. Everybody likes the woods. Walking in the woods. The dappled light of the trail. Somebody pointed out that I do a lot of my paintings with one brush. I never thought about it, but I guess you're right. I guess I do. And you know what? I don't think I need the gouache. I think I like it just like it is. I think it looks nice just like it is. So it is pure watercolor today. Our walk in the woods is almost done. I think we're done. Now let me just smear the background, the back of the card, I mean. Just smear it like smearing cream cheese on a bagel. Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off and let it dry, and then I'll be right back to finish. Okay, it's dry. Now I fold it, and we have our finished card. And I'll be giving it to somebody. I don't know who. Maybe you. Maybe I'll be giving it to you. Alright, thank you for watching. Let's talk to you later.